Hey guys, this is Daryl and this is another Fit Tip of Today. In today's segment I want to show you a great exercise that develops the vastus medialis oblique muscle, otherwise known as the teardrop. And that's the muscle that's on the inside of the leg here and just above the knee. And it's that when it's developed, it's an absolutely beautiful, it's a striking muscle to view because it comes off the knee and it just really, it's an eye catcher. So it's when someone has a developed vastus medialis oblique muscle, you know, it draws everyone's attention to that area. And it's like, that's just a really hard muscle to really develop and to really bring it out. But there are some great exercises that you can do that to really help bring it out. And one of the best exercises that I know of is the Roman chair squat. Now the Roman chair, I believe that was developed by Vince Gironda. He actually used to have a little tiny piece of apparatus in his gym that he had. It was just a small little piece. It looked like an L. And what you would do is that it had a little foot pad, so you put your feet inside this little piece of apparatus, and so your feet would be totally secure underneath this pad. And then behind the knee was another pad, and that was all it was. And so it was like this L formation. And so what you would do is you'd have the support in of the pad on the foot, and you can actually lean back and then go into a squat position and then come right back up. And your legs would be totally locked in, but your upper part of your legs would be totally free so you can have full range of motion. Now the reason for this exercise is because Vince always believed in that the back squat, when you do a regular back squat with the weight on your back, that it activates too much of the gluteus maximus. And because when you put all the weight back here, what tends to happen is you're trying to stay in a neutral position on your spine. A lot of times we shift all of our weight so the butt is actually being pushed back, and we go into this position where the load is all in the glutes, and so we're not getting as much concentration on the quadriceps as we want, and so we get all this weight onto the back, and then as we come up, the quadriceps begin to fire off and we get the contraction, but all through that, the range of motion, a lot of it has to do with the glutes, and that is going to cause, and what Vince would say, it would widen the hips. And so you kind of get like a blocky look to your physique. Now I've done squats, and I know a lot of guys have done squats, and a lot of bodybuilders have done squats, and so I don't know how true that theory really is, if it's accurate for everybody, or if it's just some people. But I noticed when I was doing squats, when I was doing really heavy, like sort of powerlifting stuff, Vince's concept was true for me. I started noticing that my glutes were getting really big. I became much more blocky, and my abdominals, I started to lose my tapered look, and I started getting really thick and wide in the abdomen. And I just noticed for myself that I didn't like the way I was looking from doing back squats. So when I asked Vince, he said that the reason why my body was changing because I was doing back squats. So he told me to do Roman chair squats, and it worked much better for me because the idea is that you want to get full activation on the quadriceps, and to get that you have to be in a leaning back position so you deactivate the glutes. So when you're going back, your glutes are not firing, but the rectus femoris muscle group is firing, and then you can really isolate and get more out of it. So this particular exercise really works well for me. It might not work well for other people. The back squat might be something that's great for somebody, but it doesn't work for me. So, I'm all about symmetry and creating a physique and having that, that tapered look. At home, I have a Roman chair that is very similar to Vince's that I use, and but I didn't bring my video stuff there, so anyways, I don't want to show you my basement. So what I've done is I've taken a Smith machine, and this is a great idea, especially if you don't have enough money to buy a Roman chair right now. You want to do this exercise. So I use a Smith machine, and I figured out that you can position the bar right behind the knee, just like you want, but I use a little pad. As you can see, I put a pad behind there just for a little comfort, and then I take a piece of plywood, and I just take a strap that you can just attach, and then I put my feet underneath there, and then I have my basic setup for a Roman chair. and it works just as well. And the nice thing about this is that I can get down as low as I want to go because of the fact that the bar is very small in diameter, so I'm not restricted in any way with a big giant pad. So it's a great exercise. It's a great setup here. So if you do have a Smith machine, I mean, this is the cheapest way to go. And you're getting a great exercise, and it will blast your legs like crazy. So what we do here, set up, is what I do. You want to warm the knee joint up first. So here, I just go some small range of motion. You want to go about maybe 20 reps, because this is going to put a tremendous load and tension on your patella tendon. And you really want to make sure that you're well grooved in terms of warming that joint up and the tendons and the muscle, because if you all of a sudden just jump on this thing and then just go right down to a full range, there's a good chance you're going to tear something. So you want to be very careful. So I go about 20 reps, and then as I get warmed up, I go deeper and deeper. And then once I finally get to my full functional range, then I'll actually begin the exercise. And so what I do here is I want to put as much tension on the quadriceps as possible. So what I do is I actually lean back. I kind of do like a reclining position. So I kind of get into that position so I can really load the quadriceps. So I'm actually leaning, and you can really almost feel like it's like your tendons are going to just snap off your bone here, because you're putting so much tension on the upper part of the quadriceps. It's a wonderful feeling. I can't get that when I do the back squat. When I do a back squat, I go down like this, so you're flexing. So you're getting that hip flexion, and you're not getting any more tension on the upper part for me. So I want to get this. I want to come back into this position, so I get this kind of like this arc, and you can actually see it when I do it. Like when you lean back, you can actually see that there's an arc here, and you can see the tension on the muscle. So as you're going from the knee all the way up into your hip, you can see this wonderful arcing position, and that's really the whole premise behind this exercise, is to draw that all out, so that when you're on stage, it just really brings almost like you have two shelves. And you're just you're coming out from your hip and down to your knee. So it really brings out the prominence of that high point on the quadriceps. So then what I do is I lean back, and then I come back down into the movement, and I get a good rebounding effect. So I go down, I maybe hold it for a second, and then I come back up. As I'm coming back up, I try to go back into that reclining position. So I'm coming down, and I'm pulling myself back up into that. So it's very similar to almost like the sissy squat when we do the when you're doing the flushing part of the sissy squat. So when you're coming down, again, you're going down, I like to get deep. Some people go halfway and they stop, and that's fine. And you can do that, I suppose. But I like to get down. I like to get into this movement. And so I come back up, and as I'm coming up, I can really thrust those hips up into the movement, into the exercise, and really feel that contraction through the quadriceps. It's a great, phenomenal burn. You don't need a ton of weight on this thing. I would always suggest, if you've never done this, don't even use any weight. I'll wear a weight vest. I'll use dumbbells. I'll even put a barbell on my back, on my front side actually, but very light, only about 20 pounds. That's all you really need, because the leverage points on this is so incredible that you don't have to go ahead and load up a lot of weight, because the resistance is kind of already built in, and you're using way more torque and tension on your quadriceps than you ever have before. So we don't have this straight up and down pattern where we put a bar on your back and go down and throw up. You can use a lot of weight that way, because you're using a lot more segments of your body to get the weight up. This is strictly quadriceps. I mean, you're going to go down into this position and trying to get back up, especially if you've done 10 or 12 reps. It's absolutely magnificent. So this is the Roman chair squat. Guys, if you have any questions about today's video, please send me an email. You can find my email on my website at www.darylconant.com. I want to thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.